Are you looking to learn how to make a needle felted gnome girl? If so, then you're on the right video because today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to make one and more. Hi everyone and welcome to today's video, Needle Felting Gnome Girl tutorial. My name is Iceland and on this channel, SnowflakeForest Felting, I share needle felting videos, have needle felting tutorials like this one, and share product reviews from time to time. So if you're new and this interests you, please consider subscribing. And if you want to know more about anything you see here on this channel, be sure and check the links down in the description below this video or leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you there. Now to begin, I'm going to show you everything you need to make this. First, you're going to need your bone colored wool, your needle felting needles, a pair of scissors, a fabric tape measure to know the size of your project, and your surface protector and needle protector pads. And then as far as colors go, you're going to want the colors for your gnome girl, and the colors that you want for the mushrooms around her, and then colors for the grassy patch and the little rock that she'll be sitting on. And remember, I'll have all this linked down in the description below for you and you can learn more there. To begin, get out your needle felting needles and then use some of your bone wool to create your doll first. You're going to want to make her head and her body, and we'll make these as one piece. This project is not going to be much bigger than 4 inches in size. Now take the wool that you're going to use to shape her head and begin felting it, and then continue to felt it until you have a perfectly round, firm, solid piece, and then you're going to also keep a little bit of it loose. This is what you'll attach onto the body. Alright, now you can begin to do the same thing to the body. Start piercing the wool and continue to felt it until it is a nice and firm felted piece. And remember, you're going to want her to have a bit of an hourglass shape. If you're needing to add any wool to make it more appropriate to the size that you're needing, again, you want to have her in proportion with her head and the rest of her body. Just go ahead and do so. And now you're going to want to attach the head to the body. So take the head and spread out all the wool that you saved for attaching to get a nice broad area. And you're going to put it on the smaller end of your body. And then begin felting it on until it is completely attached. And then to give you an idea here in size, she is just around 3 inches in length. Now you're going to want to take some of your peach colored wool and cover her face. Since she'll be wearing a hat, you don't need to do the back side of her head, just the front. And you can do a little around the top of her chest, at her neckline. And then once you're finished with that, you're going to begin making her arms. You'll roll them between your fingers to begin it. Your hands like this. You're going to want to leave the top part unfelted or attachment at the shoulder, and then on the other end you're going to want to make her a hand. Just begin felting this. And as you do, you're going to want to continue to roll it and flip it, and then also be shaping her hand. And then just continue this until it is completely firm and felted. Just like so. You can get your next one started as well. continue this same process until they are both exactly the same size, matching, and completely felted. Once you've finished your hands, it's time to make the legs, and you're going to do this in the similar way, except you're going to make the feet a little bit bigger, and we're going to give her boots. Rolling the wool, and then you'll want a little extra for the end, and then you'll need your black for the actual boot. And then just the tip of this boot is what's going to come out of her dress, because we won't see her legs. Save the end that you're going to attach onto her hips, and then felt the rest really well. And continue this until they are both done. Now for this next part, I'm going to change my foam surfaces here. You can grab your black now. The legs aren't completely felted, but I'm going to continue felting them as I attach on her boot. So just at the end, wrap that black on, and then just continue felting until they are completely attached. And you don't have to worry too much what this looks like, because the dress is again going to come down and cover this, and just the tip of her boot will come out. Do the other one as well, and then continue this until they are completely done. Once you have these complete, you can go ahead and add all your items onto the body. We'll start by fanning the ends out, like we did with the head, to give a nice broad surface of attachment. And then just felt it on. Do the same for the arms. Now she's ready for some garments and her hat. So let's begin with her hat. We can put her aside. Get the wool in the color you plan to use for her hat. And then you're going to want to begin to make this cone shaped. Then take that wool and place it across her forehead. Careful to not go too low. Wrap it down around the back. And then you're going to want to make it into a peak. A little bit more wool here for the tip. And then just continue this until you've made her hat. And remember to keep it in a cone shaped. You can even arch it back a little bit and then bring it to a peak. Once you have finished felting her hat, you're going to want to add some hair around her hat to frame her face. Just take a little bit of it. I'm going to give her a hint of a part off to the side, and then continue to add it down all the way to the base of her neck. Just like that. And then do the same on the other side. I'm going to start with adding a little bit of a swoop and then tucking that up in, and then also lining her hair down along the side of her hat to the base of her neck. There's a little bit more red. Once you have finished her hair, you can go ahead and trim around her hat, remove any loose fibers. Once you finish that, it's time to start working on her dress. So you're going to want to take the colors you've chosen for her dress, and the first thing you're going to do is give her some sleeves. So just wrap that around and felt it into the arm. Do the same to both sides. After you've got her sleeves on, you want to make the front of her dress. I'm going to use a little bit of white around the neckline. Just like so. Then if you want to use a different color for the front part of her dress, or if you want to use brown as well, this part you'll take a little bit here, and just at the top of her shoulder, attach it in, swoop it down around her front, pull away any excess, and then that's just going to go down into the top part of where her skirt will attach. I'm going to do the same here to the other shoulder, starting to look like that. Then if you want, you can even use another color here. So at the top part where the white is done and the brown meets, take the red and just go across the front. Then a little bit more of the brown color and cover her chest area completely right up to that red line. You don't have to finish this off. Go ahead and set her aside because now it's time to work on her skirt. I'm going to make hers in red as well to match her hat and the rest of her dress. And when you're making her skirt, you're going to want it cone shaped, because then we'll just slip it right on her and attach it. If you watched my needle felting video, how to make a needle felted fairy, we made her skirt the exact same way we'll make this one. This is going to seem a little awkward at first, but once it starts getting attached, as you continue felting it, it gets easier to make it. As you can see, you don't want it to connect. Now you can take her skirt and begin to attach it on her. Alright, then if you want to give her a little bit of an apron, you can go ahead and attach that color to the front of her skirt. You're also going to want to finish off the top of her dress as well. On the back, you're going to want to do the same thing you did to the front, but only halfway down the back. Alright, she should be coming together like so. If you want to add a few more details on her, you can. I'm going to start with a little brown around the end of her sleeve. Just like that. And then felt it on. A little bit of brown came through. So if you just take a little bit of white and cover it back up. And then you can do the same to the other side. Like that. And then if you want, you can use red or brown or any other color and line around her apron, leaving just a little bit of white on the edge. Make sure the line is super straight. Alright, just like that. Next, you're going to want to give her some rosy cheeks, so take just a little bit of pink and we'll felt it on each side. Next, you're going to want to give her eyes, so just use a tiny amount of black for this and just felt a tiny little half moon shape for her eyes. And then you'll have her face done. I'm gonna add a little mushroom here to the side of her hat. I'm going to use some of the bone color for the stem. And then use a little blue color for the cap. Then I'm going to take a little lighter shade of blue and make 3 little speckles on the top of it. Just like that. Then on the front of her dress, you're going to want to draw a little X with some white if you're doing the same color scheme. Trim it if it's too long and tuck the fibers in. Then make a straight line across the top. And across the bottom too. Then you're going to want to take and make 4 little dots in each corner. And then there's a closer look at the details for you. And her dress can look just like that if you want. Now you can put her aside, and it is time to work on the little green patch that she's going to be sitting on. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if there's something you'd like to see me felt next, be sure and drop it down in the comments below and I might just felt it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!